In today's video, is meal prep service worth it?
All by myself.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com, and today's question that I'm going to cover is about meal prep services. They've become really popular. I remember a few years ago here in Tampa, a company called FitLife popped up, and I thought, man, that's really strange. A company that they actually prep the meals, put them in packages, put all the nutrition macros on it, and then sell them. And I thought, that doesn't seem like a sustainable business. I'm not sure who would use that. At the time, I didn't really realize where my life was headed. See, I didn't have kids at that time. And since then, well, I have seen the value. So I started using the FitLife meals because they were so close to my house. And what I would do is I would purchase, say, 5 or 10 meals per week, and I would use them as needed. I still prefer to cook my own food, prepare my own food, go out to eat with my wife, do things in social. But what I find is, and maybe you guys will agree or disagree with me on this, when food options become low, I, instead of worrying about quality food, just make sure I get some food. See, I've always been kind of a cereal builder, and afraid of losing muscle or weight because I grew up thin, and maybe that's part of my psychology, but instead of under eating, I would rather overeat, or instead of eating a good meal or no meal, I would rather eat crap food just to keep some calories in. And so what I found with the meal prep service for me was that it really allowed me to get comfortable with knowing that there's always something in the fridge of high quality. And so I think it's a high quality option. I don't think that you should use it as your only tool. You see, if you never really learn how to track macros, if you never really learn about flexible dieting and how to create your own meal plans, well, when something's not available, you're not going to have that skill set. I think it's important to get the baseline familiarity with what you're eating. Be able to make your own foods. This is what allowed me to be successful traveling, eating out. Now, these services have gotten quite robust to the point where I no longer go through FitLife because I go through Icon Meals. Icon Meals ships my meals to where I'm going. They've also come out with this new technology. I think they call it cryo wrapping. If you look, it's like the paper is like really tight, the plastic's really tight on there, and then they freeze them and ship them. And so I think it's, if I had to guess, I don't know their business model, but it's probably reduced the weight and the size. So the nice thing is like I'm traveling next weekend, I'm having my meals shipped to where I'm traveling. Lauren and I will be at Junior Nationals. So the difference is when I get to Chicago, do I need to be stressed? Not as much, because I'm gonna have some set meals there. So is there value in it? So let's talk about the cost a little bit, and maybe I'll show you on the website here, Icon Meals. So Icon Meals ships to your door. That cost can be substantial depending on where you live and how much food you order. That might be what determines what type of service you use. I love Icon Meals, and they now sponsor me. I'm getting my Icon Meals for free. That makes my decision very easy. And they're, between $8 and $9, usually, maybe some are $7, some are $10 per meal that fit my macros for protein, carbs, and fats. That has a lot to do with it. The company here in Tampa that I really liked before I got with Icon was called FitLife. They were just a drive down the road. And so as a part of my routine, I would pop in there. Those meals seem to be a little more expensive. I don't know why, but the meals that I wanted from them were usually $10 to $12. I don't know the exact prices, so don't quote me, but that can be a significant purchase price. When I was spending, $100, $200 a week on prepackaged meals. The thing is, the way I think, the way I operate, if I don't have the food in my house, what do? Well, I run up to Chipotle, I run up to Moe's, I run up to Chick-fil-A. I try to find some food that fits my macros. But guess what happens when you're trying to hit your protein goals and you eat out at one of those places? You spend $10, $12, $13. So now what I had to look at was it worth my time? You see, if I have the meals here and they're roughly the same price, is it worth me getting in my car, driving to Moe's, sitting down, getting the food, eating there, coming back, whatever? That 15, 20 minutes became very valuable to me. 2 boys at home under the age of 4, business at home, got to get to the gym, spend time with the wife. busy day, right? So those 20, 30 minutes became really valuable to me. And you add that up over the course of a week, well, it was certainly worth it for me. So what I would suggest is trying it out, because what you might find is that your time is more valuable than the money, and you're gonna spend the money anyway. Now, if you have the time to go to the store, buy food in bulk, prep it yourself, obviously that's going to be a much more efficient way of doing it. But again, it all depends on where we're at in our lives and the focus that we're able to put on our diet and setting up, our foods. I remember I used to spend Sundays 3-4 hours a day on a Sunday shopping, prepping, storing for the week. And I found that to be very successful. Now I don't have to do that. Now I have some of the Icon meals here. I can prep shorter time. I can get in there and be done in like 30 minutes for a couple days worth of little protein sources and things that I need. And my day moves nice and fluid, okay? So in my opinion, are meal prep services worth it? Yes, of course. I find them to be very valuable. But I think you'll have to look at, what's more important to you right now, your income, financially speaking, or your time. And maybe you just use them when you travel. And if you're traveling, maybe you have some food shipped. I think that's part of the stress of traveling is when you get there, now you got to get to the grocery store, find your foods, or hope they have restaurants that fit your macros. Well, the last trip I took where I used Icon Meals, the Arnold, it was so nice to get back to the Airbnb, open the fridge, pop something in the microwave, eat, and not have to think. In years past at the Arnold, we would get back to the Airbnb, get back to the hotel, and then be like, okay, where are we going to eat? Then everyone tries to argue and disagree. No, I don't want to eat here. I can't eat here. That doesn't fit my... Nah, you don't have to worry about all that. So the value that I have found in the meal prep services is the prices have come down. So I feel they're very reasonable compared to what you would get comparable if you went to eat out. Obviously, it's still more expensive than if you prep the food yourself. But when you prep the food yourself, you've got to count for going to get the food, the groceries, and then preparing it and storing it. My wife and I are now using a service called Shipt, which actually delivers groceries to our house. And I thought at first, that's a bad idea because the price must be really high for the groceries. Well, it's not. The prices are still very good, and you can even still get the 2-for-1 deals that they have. What I've also found is that when you order groceries through Shipt, you get exactly what you ordered. When you walk through the store to buy your groceries and your wife likes to shop, or you have a child with you, the prices really add up. You grab a diet soda on the way out, your son gets a couple toys, whatever it is. I find that having the groceries delivered, it's actually cheaper because I'm just getting what I need and I'm not wasting that time going to the store. Still go to the store from time to time, but if we need it, it's available. So it seems like there's some changes going on that are making this process easier. Being, let's say, fit or healthy or eating in the manner that you want to do, it seems like there's some things that are going on to make that easier. So look into those options. Look into a local food delivery service or a food prep service. Look into Icon Meals if you're traveling, or even if you're not traveling, if you just like their meals, they're delicious. And then look at Shipt as an option for having food delivered to your house. In your area, there may be another website or app, I don't know. But I find that these things have really combined to free up a lot of my time so that I can make YouTube videos. Woo! All right, guys, that's gonna be it for me today. It's Saturday. I gotta get to the gym. It's leg day. It's refeed day. Things are going along. The diet's going good. I'm seeing more detail and lines all over the physique, so I'm really happy with where things are going. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. Talk to you tomorrow.
By myself.